Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tessie and today we are going to be recreating this dress. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly do that and let's get right into the video. So we're going to be working on the top part of the dress first. So what we need to do is to chalk the off shoulder. So for an off shoulder, you take 2 inches from your normal shoulder measurement, or you can take 1.5 inches. So the shoulder is 15 inches divided by 2 is 7.5. I took 2 inches off and I chalked my 7.5. So you determine how off you want the off shoulder to be. So I'm going to be taking 7 inches off. Then from that point, I chalked my armhole line, bust point line, under bust, and my waist line. So I'll go ahead now to connect my lines and then label my chest line, bust point, under bust, and my waist. So what we'll be doing next is chalking the nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. So my nipple to nipple divided by 2 is 3.5, which I chalked and connected it into a straight line. Then I'll be taking my dart. So at the underboss, I'm going to be taking 1 inch on both sides. So 1 inch on this point and also 1 inch on this other point. Then I'll connect it to the waistline. After connecting to the waistline, I'm going to be connecting it to the bust point line. So at the bust point area, I'll come down by ½ inch. So this is to eliminate pointiness around the bust point area. So I'll connect the lines using my curve ruler. And then at the chest line, I'm going to be coming in by 0.75 on both lines. Then I'll connect it to the bust point line as well. So guys, after doing that, we're good to go. I'll take the areas I'll be taking off. So guys, if you want this off shoulder a sweetheart neckline, it depends on your preference, but for the style it's just straight, so we're going to be leaving it straight. So I'll go ahead now to replace my measurement and replace back the dart I took. So my chest line bust divided by 4, I replace back the dart I took at that point and also add my 2 inches for my sewing allowance. At the underbust, I'll place my underbust measurement divided by 4. I'll replace back the dart I took and then I'm going to be adding extra 2 inches for my sewing allowance. So I'll go ahead now to connect my lines. So guys, we're good to go. I'm going to connect this to the armhole area. So just connect it this way. So guys, what I'll be doing next is taking the bust dart. So for the bust dart, I'll come down at the bust area by 1 inch. So I came down by 1 inch at this point, and then from that point, I'm going to connect it to the bust point line. So I'll take this area I'll be taking off. So guys, we're good to go. I'll go ahead now to cut out my pattern. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly do that and let's get right back. So guys, after cutting out my bustier, I'll go ahead now to cut out the bust dart. After trimming it to this point, I'm just going to place it this way and use my paper tape to hold it in place. So guys, we're good to go with the bustier part of the dress. As you can see, I'll go ahead now to label my lines. After doing that, we're going to be working on the back. So for the back, I'll be adding zip to the back. So I'm just going to chalk my 2 inches for my zip allowance, then connect it all the way down. So I'll label these as my zip allowance area. So guys, for the back, for my shoulder measurement, I'm going to be taking 2 inches off, just the way we did in the front. So for the shoulder, I took 2 inches off and then chalked my shoulder line. And then for the off shoulder, I'm going to be taking 7 inches off, just the way we did in the front. And then I'll chalk my armhole line and then I'll chalk the half length. So the half length of the back is a bit shorter than the front. You need to take note of that. If your half length for the front is 16 inches, your half length for the back should be 15 inches. So I'll go ahead now to connect my lines and then label my lines. So what I'll be doing next is at the chest line, I'll place my bust measurement divided by 4 and then add 2 inches for my sewing allowance. At the waistline, I'll place my waist measurement divided by 4 and also add 2 inches for my sewing allowance. So I'll go ahead now to connect my lines. So guys, for the back neckline, if you want it a bit deeper, it depends on your preference, you can bring it down, but I just want mine straight. So I'm just going to blend in the armhole this way. So we're good to go with the back. I'll go ahead now to cut out the back. So guys, after cutting out the back, I'll be eliminating zipper bulge at the zip allowance area. So I'll come in here by 1 inch, and then from that point I'll slant it all the way up. So guys, after slanting it all the way up, I'll go ahead now to cut out that part. So we're good to go. I've gone ahead to cut out my fabric. This is what it looks like. I'm using a crepe. So I've added my paper stay and my wording on the main fabric, as you can see. And then for the lining, I just added paper stay. Then for the back, I added paper stay on both the lining and the main fabric. So I'll go ahead now to join my front together. Place them this way, stitch using 1/2 inch, and then do the same thing for the lining piece as well. Then for the back, I'm just going to fold it into two and then take my dart, stitch it all the way up. I'll do the same thing for this part and also do the same thing for the lining piece as well. So guys, for the top part of the dress, I've gone ahead to cut out my normal bodies. You can see I have my front and my back. I chopped 2 inches for my zip allowance area and then cut out the front as well. So this is what it looks like. So now we're going to be working on the armhole area. So it depends on how deep you want this part to be. Mine, I don't want it too deep. You can chalk how wide you want the shoulder to be. For me, I'm just going to be working with 2 inches. You can work with 1 or 1.5. It depends on how deep you want it to be. So from this point, you will just take it in. So it depends on how curvy you want that area to be as well. So just curve it in any direction that you want, and then you cut out these parts. So we are good to go. This is how I want mine to be. I don't want it too opened. So I'll go ahead now to slash the zip allowance area as well. So just go ahead, cut out your normal bodies. It is very simple. So there's no need for that in this. So this is what it looks like, as you can see. So I'm going to be adding this to the top part and also add this other one to the back area as well. Hope you understand. So guys, after adding the top part and the lining to the bustier, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So I've gone ahead to use my bias to pipe the neckline and the armhole area. So this is it. I'm just going to give it a very good press, and then we're going to be attaching this to the bodies. So I'll go ahead and place it this way, as you can see. So I'm going to place it this way and then run a stitch. So I'll stitch the side together just to hold them in place. So I'll do the same thing for this side as well. So guys, we're going to do the same thing for the back as well. So for the back, I've also piped the neckline and the armhole area for the back, and I've attached the crepe to the net fabric, as you can see. So now for the down part of the dress, I've cut out my skirt, as you can see. I have for the front and then for the back. So I added 2 inches for my zipper allowance for the back. So I've gone ahead to cut out my lining piece as well. So for the lining, it's a short lining. So you determine how long you want your lining to be. So my lining is 20 inches long. So what I'll do is to attach the lining on the lace fabric. So I'm just going to place it this way. I'll stitch the down part of the crepe. I'll stitch it and then attach it to the main fabric. So I'll go ahead now to stitch and then attach them together. So guys, for the back piece as well, I'm going to fold the down part of the crepe. I'll fold it, and then after folding, I'm just going to attach it to the lace fabric. So after doing all of that, I'll be attaching the top part and the down part together. I'll place them this way, right side facing each other, and then stitch using 1/2 inch. And I will do the same thing for the back piece as well. I'll place them this way, right side facing each other, and stitch. So I've added the back together, added the zip allowance. So I'm just going to join the front and the back together at the shoulder with 1/2 inch, and then shape the dress and show us the end results. So guys, when I was done with the dress, I used my needle and thread to tack the fringe on the dress, as you can see. So this is what it looks like when she came for fitting. Hope this tutorial was helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys in my next class. For now, bye.